Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Ninja Blast, and welcome to a video about Diablo 3. Now, I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure this is actually the first PC game that I've actually uploaded in this video. I've been wanting to actually record or post PC games on this channel for quite a long time, because every now and then I do get into the PC phase and just decide to play mostly PC or nothing but PC for a while. But anyway, in this video I'm basically going to talk about a bit about Diablo. This is meant for people who don't know too much about it, or have been in the not too sure if they should get it or not. And I haven't actually beaten the game yet because I have been doing other things, playing other things, and I probably could beat it if I really last weekend I could have easily beaten it if I actually played it as much as most people did. But anyway, this part is in Act 2. It's in a random dungeon that I found called the Ruins, and it's just gonna be just a quick walkthrough. It only has 2 levels, so it should be pretty easy. As you can see here, I have a follower. And you could, at this point, you unlock followers as you go through the main story. The whole game is just a huge main story. The Act 1 normally lasts a person like 8 hours maybe, depending on if they search everywhere, difficulty, but for me I usually go everywhere around until the entire map is filled. So it took me about 8 hours to beat Act 1. And this is a little bit past the beginning part of Act 2, and I think I'm getting close to the end of Act 2 by now, but I only recorded this yesterday from the time I'm recording this, so which is actually Thursday. But anyway, as you can see here, I'm using the class. That's the wizard. There are 5 classes in this game: the monk, the wizard, the demon hunter, the barbarian, the witch doctor, and the see. Let me think. The barbarian, the monk, the witch doctor, the demon hunter, the wizard. Yeah. Alright, those are all 5. So I started off at the beginning just using a wizard. I have a male wizard that I use for multiplayer mostly, and this character was meant to be my single player, which is the female wizard. But I love the wizard class a lot. The only other class I've tried though is the witch doctor. So I don't have much experience with the others, but I like the wizard much more than the witch doctor due to the abilities that the wizard gets later. I do like the convenience of having the diamond armor, which is the one ability. And to see your abilities are displayed down there. It's the 1, 2, 3, 4, and left click, right click. And each of them, except for the first, at least in the wizard's case, all of the left click abilities do not use any arcane power, which is that ball on the right side, the purple ball that's glowing. And while the other powers like the right click and every other one uses that. And some of them actually I think do not, like the one maybe doesn't, but the thing is, if it does, it uses very little. But the difference is that most of the 1, 2, 3, 4 abilities have to recharge for a while, so they're more for combining spells together. But every class is like this with 1, 2, 3, 4 and left click, right click abilities, and Q is the potion. You can technically change the settings so that you have different skills and different slots, but I don't know why. I think it makes sense the way they put it in automatically. But this game's main fun comes from collecting loot, which is basically getting everything, especially beating the bosses. I've always found the bosses to be pretty fun. Some of them are pretty easy so far, but I am playing only on normal difficulty. And once the game is beaten, you can unlock nightmare difficulty, then hell difficulty. No, nightmare, Inferno and Hell, I think. Or maybe it might be Inferno and Hell are kind of mixed. But anyway, yeah, at this point it's normal difficulty, so it shouldn't be that hard. But once your character first reaches level 10, you can unlock Hardcore mode, which is if you die, then your character dies permanently, and you have to start over a new game. It's a pretty unique way to kind of add a big kind of challenge to the game for those veterans. And I have seen that a lot of people have beaten the game on hardcore and normal difficulty. And there's probably bound to be someone by now that beat it in maybe all the difficulties, except maybe the hardest difficulty of all. But I don't know. Anyway, I guess I'll just say some basics about each class. Well, you level up. The level cap in this game is at 60, I think, or 50, one of the two. And I think the main reason for that, unlike in Diablo 2, Diablo 2, once the first expansion came out, the one and only expansion, Lords of Destruction, the level cap increased to level 99, which everyone was surprised that this game you can only get to level 60, I think. Yeah, and the reason for that is I think they're gonna add in more DLCs, like probably a few new areas, new quests, and more to the dungeons, similar to Lords of Destruction and Diablo 2. But since I haven't beaten the story, I heard that they could easily add new DLCs. But either way, the story I think it's pretty interesting. Most people, it's like better than nothing. It's like than just having random dungeon looting. But this game is only 4-player co-op online, and the problem with this, in a way, it's somewhat a problem and somewhat convenient. If you see that bar on the right side that's green currently, that is right next to the purple glowing ball, which is the arcane power, that bar tells you your latency, which is basically ping and your connection, basically. If it's under 300, then it'll be green. If it's above 300, it'll be yellow, and I think if it's above 600, it'll be red. It might be 500. But basically, to play even though this game can be played single player, you have to be connected to the internet at all times to play. Yeah, which is why the release, if anyone's heard of Diablo 3, was actually a disaster because they turned on all the servers for the entire world at the same time. And due to so much people trying to log in at once, it caused the servers to crash, and people had to wait a few hours. Especially in the U.S., it took a long time to fix the servers until everyone could play. But anyway, let's see. At this point, this game is pretty fun. I think it's fun to play on your own, but the fun really comes in when you're playing with a group of people. Like, even just another person is fine, but when you have all 4 people or 3, then it really starts to get fun. The only thing this doesn't have is an in-game chat, which I think I'm fine with because it has an in-game text chat, but no voice chat is what I'm saying. And it does have, cross-play. As you can see here, I'm changing the settings really quick. I'm adding subtitles just so that since I did record this without any sound, that way I would, because I was actually listening to something at the time, so I didn't actually want to record the game sound and just put commentary over it like I am right now. But anyway, at this point, I think I'm a level 17 or 18. I'm just taking a guess based on my follower. Your follower normally has the same level as you. I think they could be a level lower, but you can actually upgrade their skills too. Each time you level up, all 50 times or 60, you actually get a new ability, or a rune as it's called. A rune is basically a way to enhance an ability. Like, let's see, what's a good example? Like, the number 2 ability is one that is, I would see that one, the ground pound ability that I just did, kind of. It pushes like a huge force that pushes everyone away from you. And there's a way to upgrade that so maybe the push is stronger, or maybe it'll stun enemies for a while or something like that. And sometimes it actually changes the powers quite a bit. And here I'm going through the inventory. The items that are highlighted in blue are magical items. The ones that aren't is just a regular item, and ones that are yellow is a rare item. And a rare item, normally if you find one randomly, then it has to be identified, which unlike in Diablo 2, this game, you just have to identify items. You only have to right-click them while they're in your inventory and only wait a few seconds. But if it has to be identified, it'll give them like random magical effects. And this game is all about basically finding the best loot and going through it and try to see if you can get like a rare weapon or piece of gear or something that'll give you lots of special abilities. But overall, I think the wizard may not have too much health compared to most, but I mean, the wizard can easily have the diamond armor and the electrical, or the shock actually, and the ice armor, which is the 3 ability at this point, is all I've unlocked. It actually helps for protection more than armor. As you can see right here, I found some rare pants, and I right-clicked, and she stops for a few seconds to identify. And here it tells you what it improves, like the strength, dexterity, intelligence, and vitality. And each of them do a different thing depending on, like, all of them affect the same things, but some are better used for other classes. Like strength would obviously be the barbarian, which is the warrior class, I guess you could say, where he's basically the one that the tank that uses weapons, goes up close range, and just kills a whole bunch of things. And the monk is similar to that because it uses magic abilities to attack from a close range. Wizard is kind of a good mix. Demon Hunter uses crossbows and bow and arrows to attack mainly, and uses traps also to as the abilities. And then there's the Witch Doctor, summons a whole bunch of things like spiders, frogs, what else is there? It summons all kinds of creatures to help him fight. But yeah, you can when you pick your characters, you could obviously see everyone looks the same and levels up basically the same way too, but it all comes down to which abilities you equip. Since you can only have like left click has, I think, 5. All of 1, 2, 3, 4 left click and right click have only 5 slots for abilities. So, for example, I have I think the electrical power that I'm using right now is in the left click, but I think it's the 4th one out of 5 that I've unlocked. And plus, each of them have about 4 or 5 runes, and you can only equip one of those at a time. So it's a good way. It's a good way to make sure that a person always has a good character. Basically, they could just test out and see what abilities they like to use. And I'm definitely gonna try next either the Demon Hunter or the Monk. Maybe the Demon Hunter just to change things up a bit, cause the Witch Doctor and the Wizard don't really use many weapons. Even though the Demon Hunter only uses arrows, but either way, it's better than just spells all the time. But anyway, here I'm getting close. Oh yeah, so I was level 18. Now I just reached level 19. Let me see if I actually customized in this video. See, I unlocked a new active skill category, and this is when I unlocked the 4 mastery ability. And you can see this one only has 3 of them. And those other runes which are right under. Here I'll show some more. The Spectral Blade, which is okay. So I have all 4 abilities, and see right there I equipped a rune. And that one I think just increases the size of the slices, and the Energy Twister unleashes a tornado, but I like the Wave of Force a lot more. But anyway, this will show you just a quick customization kind of, and see, as you can see, my latency bar on the bottom right just went down to yellow, so my internet started to mess up a bit. But either way, I think this game is pretty playable as long as you have a decent internet connection. It's obviously much better, and in a way it doesn't even matter when you play with people, because no one is the host when you play with someone. It's all a dedicated server, so if someone has a bad connection, then it's all because of them. And as you see here, I got to the end of the dungeon. That is this thing. That is a stone that'll take you to the big entrance of the dungeon. And right here, since I enabled the subtitles, you can actually read the journal that I found. Normally that wouldn't pop up and you just hear it, but since I turned off the sound, I decided to turn it on. And here I'm just exploring really quick to see if I missed anything. But overall, I like this game a lot. It actually, I wasn't too sure about it at first, but thinking about it, I actually realized how much I actually like this kind of game. and I think it's fun for everyone. It's easy to learn how to play. You don't really need too much experience. It doesn't have as large of a learning curve like StarCraft and World of Warcraft, where you kind of need to put a lot of time into it. This game, you can obviously you need to put a lot of time if you want to beat it overall. But I mean, it's not forcing you to do a lot of things just so you could start up the fun. And here I realized in the map that I'm basically all done with the dungeon. So thank you for watching. This has been Ninja Blast, and I'll maybe post up another video. Bye.